right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Grab your winter coat. It's a cold start in the morning, and I'll tell you if there are any rain chances in the week ahead.
From the war zone in Ukraine to a new life in St. Peter's.
It just seems like it'll be a nice, peaceful setting for them.
The local church giving a Ukrainian family a new start and how you can help. Our top story, people of all faiths coming together. Tonight, remembering the victims of gun violence and the calls to leaders to do something about it. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush has the night off. Hundreds of people packed the pews of a historic St. Louis church tonight, urging Missouri leaders to commit to hold a vote on tougher gun laws. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, reports from the Trinity Episcopal Church.
As the sun begins to set on the end of 2023,
so we gather tonight in the spirit of hope.
These rafters ring with songs of hope that a new year might bring new light.
Hope is a flame that can never be extinguished.
Their prayer is that fire can light their path through the darkness of grief to the doorstep of government.
We're tired of inaction.
Faith leaders from 7 different congregations gathered here under one roof in St. Louis to remember one group.
The many victims of gun violence.
And together lifted their voices with one message.
For our legislators to vote for stronger laws or to reinstate stronger laws.
This annual service was inspired by another dark December night more than 1,000 miles from here, 11 years ago.
The Sandy Hook school shooting.
The bond that brought these believers together goes beyond the unimaginable grief from those young lives cut too short. The people in these pews were well acquainted with that same grief that struck St. Louis.
In my 10 years of being a pastor, I've had 6 members murdered.
Their prayer is for those who hold power to use it.
To finally make it to the floor for a vote.
And while those in power might not have been under this roof on this night.
Thanks for coming.
The prayers spoken and written here will reach them soon enough. However menacing the threat of gun violence, their hope is that the pen is mightier.
And that Missouri has the 8th highest firearm death rate in the nation, a statistic of which we cannot be proud.
Jeff Wunrow organized a letter drive to the Republican leaders of the Missouri House and Senate.
And our prayers are that the legislature will someday respond to this and understand that in addition to thoughts and prayers, legislative action is necessary.
Reporting in St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on Your Side.
And those letters urge legislative leaders to hold a vote on age requirements and permits to carry a gun, red flag laws, and universal background checks. The Missouri House and Senate are scheduled to return to action in the new year. It's a cold night throughout the bi-state, but you won't be feeling the December chill all week long. Meteorologist Jim Castillo joins us with the Weather First forecast. Good evening, Jim.
Hi, Kelly. Yeah, so, most of this week coming up, it's going to be above average for the temperature, at least the high. But the low tonight, average low is about 30. We're already in the 20s in many areas. Looking around right now, it's 25 in Chesterfield, 27 in Alton, but that wind that we had last night has died down. So calm wind, and even at Lambert, it's 32. And keep in mind, again, that average low is about 30. So even Lambert is going down into the upper 20s tonight. And it's that calm wind and a mainly clear to partly cloudy sky as we head throughout the night tonight. So 28, at least right through downtown St. Louis, but outside of the city, look at those low 20s from Flora, Illinois, all the way through Salem, Illinois, and Vandalia, and 26 in Farmington. So really chilly weather for the night. Tomorrow we rebound nicely with plenty of sunshine, a light south wind. We should get to about 50, 51 degrees. And for the rest of the week, you'll like that 10-day forecast. I'll have all of that coming up in just a bit.
Looking forward to that, Jim. You are looking at just some of the scars left behind after tornadoes ripped through several Tennessee towns. Tonight, a search and rescue operation is underway in Clarksville. At least 3 people were killed in the town, including a child. Severe weather is also to blame for 3 other deaths in the state. Tonight, more than 25,000 people in the Nashville area are still without power. People from across the state describe what they saw last night.
Right whenever we were going to go back downstairs, the big window that's in front of our staircase, it just busted and glass went flying everywhere down the stairs and everything.
All you hear is stuff started flying and glass was breaking. And it seemed like it lasted forever, but it was probably maybe 30 seconds.
So far this year, there have been 26 deadly tornadoes throughout the country, killing 82 people. That is the most we've seen in a single year since 2011. The Tennessee storms come before the 2-year anniversary of a deadly tornado outbreak in the bi-state. On December 10th, 2021, a woman was killed in Defiance. 6 more were killed at an Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville. Travis Cummings was in the Metro East today to talk to people about the lingering impact of the storm.
Yeah, there was pieces of building everywhere and big giant pieces of trees.
The days leading up to Christmas this time 2 years ago looked a lot different for some in the Metro East.
It was pretty unbelievable.
On December 10th, 2021, a E3 tornado swept through the town, ripping a part of an Amazon warehouse and killed 6 workers. Its remnants hit surrounding neighborhoods, and Robin Michikana's mother's house, just acres away, was in its path.
And there were big pieces of the building all in her yard, her backyard. It just went over the top of her house and dropped into her garden.
The trauma still sticks for Roger Nance, putting up Christmas decorations right down the road.
I remember it well. My granddaughter, the little one's here with us, she keeps going to the basement whenever we get a hard rain or storm and thunder and lightning.
Amazon has built a new facility here. We reached out to the company to see what has changed as far as keeping employees safe from future natural disasters. A spokesperson for the company pointed out emergency protocols and measures in place like site-specific emergency action plans that identify exit routes in severe weather assembly areas, regular weather monitoring, yearly emergency response training, and ongoing assessments from organizations like OSHA. They said, quote, "We'll always mourn those we lost 2 years ago in Edwardsville and remain grateful for the support we've received from the onset of the tragedy to today. Edwardsville is a strong community and one that we're committed to and honored to be a part of." Meanwhile, these residents hope to not have that strength tested anytime soon.
That it happened, so many people lost their lives.
You know, you think about the street and the people you grew up with, and everybody around here has been here for years and years and years, and you just hope that it doesn't hit one of them.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
And Amazon planned internal remembrance ceremonies this weekend. Tonight, President Biden announced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accepted an invitation to visit the White House later this week. This will be his 3rd visit since the war began. All this comes as the president tries to negotiate a deal with Congress to send more aid to Ukraine. Over the weekend, Russia launched a barrage of cruise missiles at Ukraine after a nearly 80-day pause. Many were headed to the capital of Kyiv, but most were intercepted. Just hours ago, a Ukrainian family hoping to flee the war zone landed at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. Only 5 on your side was there as they arrived to their new home. Annie Kroll introduces us to the local church who made it all possible.
Hello, hello. Sunday night, the Prokotov family arrived at their new townhome in St. Peter's. Just days ago, they fled their home in Kyiv after another bombardment by Russia.
They are mentally and physically exhausted from all the rockets and missiles and bombing. So they finally agreed to leave Ukraine and try to come here and see how it goes, basically. Starting a new life in different countries is difficult. It's very difficult.
Their move to the United States was planned months before the latest air raid, thanks to members of John Calvin Presbyterian Church in Bridgeton.
Once we found out, the situation, we really wanted to help. And as a matter of fact, a couple of the ladies were on a call with the family one night with the aunt and the family when they had to go to the basement because of the air raids.
To give you an idea of how long this Ukrainian refugee family has been traveling for, they took a 10-hour bus ride from Kyiv to Warsaw, which was delayed, then from Warsaw to Frankfurt, Germany, and from Frankfurt, Germany to Lambert Airport on Sunday in St. Louis to finally arrive here at this townhome in St. Peter's.
It's amazing, like I splю.
Sleeping. It feels like it's a dream.
The church is paying for their rent for a year, utilities, and their initial airfare, totaling a fundraising goal of $24,000, which they're halfway to.
And I never thought this is anything that I would be doing, but when someone asks for help and they're in a scary, dangerous situation and there are kids involved, it's hard to turn away.
Mom Victoria is Zoryana Mills' niece, who is the official sponsor.
They're hoping not to spend time in the basement anymore, at least unless they want to.
Reporting in St. Peter's, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
And the family includes a 7-year-old daughter and 5-year-old twins. The church is collecting donations for rent, utilities, household items, clothing, maybe even a car. We have more information with this story at KSDK.com. She hit one out of the park, but was unable to round the bases. How her competitors put on a masterclass of sportsmanship, perfecting the terminal tango.
They don't have to go around and around.
Tonight, navigating Lambert while picking up or dropping off loved ones coming home for the holidays.
Feels more like winter Monday morning, but not bad by the afternoon. Highs closer to 50, and the 10-day forecast is looking mild.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
Since 2005, the nation's best sports have come together in St. Louis for the Musial Awards. Tonight, for his Making a Difference report, Mike Bush travels to Florida to meet one of this year's honorees.
At Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida, they offer classes in more than 100 degree programs.
You good? You ready? Yes.
But recently, their softball field became a classroom of compassion.
All the way from Des Moines, Iowa here.
It happened last February when Southeastern hosted Grandview from Des Moines, Iowa.
They were ranked number 11 at the time. We were number 4, so we knew that would be a good win for us. And now it'll be up to Caitlin Moses.
Trailing 4-1 in the 5th inning, Caitlin Moses came to bat for Grandview with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
I was feeling confident in how I was seeing the ball.
Is lifted into deep left center.
I'm like, wow. Like, I turn around, I'm just like admiring the ball as it goes by, right?
She hit it far, very far.
As soon as it went over, kind of started to celebrate. I was pumped up, and I immediately felt, you know, my ankle kind of give out, fell to the ground, and it went from excitement to, oh my gosh, what just happened?
Instead of running around the bases, Caitlin was writhing between the bases in excruciating pain.
Her teammates can't touch her, or the run doesn't count. Like, nobody, like on her team, her coaches, the athletic trainers, nobody can touch her.
At that time, the 2 Southeastern players say, well, coach, can we carry her around?
They were like, we're allowed to pick her up, right? And they're like, yeah, like, you're the only ones that are allowed to help her. And then me and Leah just kind of knew that that was the right thing to do.
With a spirit that defied the scoreboard, Chapel Cunningham and Leah Gonzalez carried Caitlin Moses around the bases, exchanging the lead for a lesson in true sportsmanship.
She just kept saying sorry, and then we were like, no, like, you hit a home run, like, you deserve this credit right now. So what a moment here in Lakeland, Florida.
They carry her to home plate, and the players hand her off to Caitlin's teammates. They then go back to their positions, like it was just what we're supposed to do.
Back in Iowa, Caitlin's slow but steady recovery from that ankle injury continues. But as time goes by, her gratitude to the women at Southeastern remains as steady as her determination.
Their instant reaction was to help me, and I'm so thankful for that.
Grandview won the game, but sometimes it's not the final score that deserves the spotlight.
To think about their actions in that situation certainly means life is bigger than the game.
Southeastern gave us a master class in kindness, illuminating the day with their humanity.
And here's a reminder, if you know someone making a difference for others just out of kindness, let Mike know by email. That's mbush@ksdk.com. Tonight is the 4th night of Hanukkah, and the Missouri Botanical Garden celebrated with live music and activities for people of all ages. Here is a live look at the lights at Garden Glow, where the festivities just wrapped up a few hours ago. And things were lively tonight in historic St. Charles. Tonight was the 4th annual Hanukkah on Main Street. The Chabad Jewish Center of St. Charles County hosted the free event which featured Jewish holiday music, hot latkes, and merchandise, and a giant menorah lighting. Jim Castillo's back with the Weather First forecast. We have been spoiled, Jim, because the weather has been so mild.
So today
But not
felt
anymore.
chilly, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's been so mild. And, this week it's going to be mild. But, tonight is a chilly night, but kind of average for this time of year. So
Yeah, it
so
felt
good
like
stuff.
December.
Yes, absolutely. An average December 10th day for sure. So 45 was the high, average is 46, and 31 the current reading. So we keep going down. Could actually hit that 30-degree mark, which is average as we get toward midnight. So a warm front is trying to make its way through here, and otherwise not much going on in our area. But all that severe weather, no more tornado watches, but still watching a lot of rain up and down the eastern seaboard. And on the back side of this, you see that little bit of blue in there. That's some snow. And it's starting to move into places like Albany, New York, and up in Vermont and New Hampshire. So beginning to look a little bit more like the holidays as we get into the next day, at least in the Northeast. For us, it's plenty of sunshine after some morning clouds. Right now, some clouds are starting to stream on in. But so we're calling it partly cloudy tonight, but mainly clear to partly cloudy. And then those temperatures are allowed to drop. We're already in the 20s in most areas, and it's a calm wind. So 28 degrees for St. Louis, 25 in Edwardsville, Flora. It'll be down to about 22 by morning. And right now you're in the 20s. So storm systems, they're tracking far north or to the south. So they're kind of missing us. And that's the big story this week. We're not really going to see much in the way of any activity in terms of rain, and definitely no snow. So tomorrow, plenty of sunshine after some morning clouds mixing in, and about 51 degrees. And we get to Tuesday, clouds a little on the increase, but still nice sunshine mixing in and about 50. And then as we get to Wednesday, maybe slightly cooler, 47 degrees. And that rain stays to the west of us, Kansas and into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, and maybe even a little mixture of snow there as we get into Thursday. For us, we're staying dry. And as that storm in Texas drops down to the south and east, we're going to stay dry. So it's 51. Look at that. That's above average. That average high temperature is about 46 for this time of year. So here's that 10-day forecast. We're in the low 50s all the way through until Wednesday, a little dip there. And then low 50s Thursday, Friday, and maybe even mid 50s on Sunday. The only chance of a shower, a slight chance, is on Saturday.
We're on the move. I've been showing you the best way to get around Lambert this holiday travel season without worrying about missing your flight. Well, how about when you're responsible for picking up family or friends coming to town for a visit? Sometimes that can be a bit dicey, and of course you want to put your best foot forward. So before you leave home for the pickup, check for flight delays on the airline website, just like you do for a flight of your own. But Lambert's Roger Lotz has an important tip about where to wait when picking up someone.
Tell them to use the cell phone lots. It's a place where they can park the car. They don't have to go around and around.
Also, don't forget to have your cell phone charged in case your traveler is held up at baggage claim. But then again, you might want to suggest
try and travel light. It'll make things a lot easier.
Great advice. Good luck. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
Tonight, the Israeli offense intensifies in Gaza, the counter-protest of the conflict on the streets of St. Louis today. And KSDK is partnering with the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition this holiday season to help make things a little brighter for kids in foster care. And you can help them too. We have a little more than 1,000 wishes left to grant before December 20th. If you would like to give a gift, head to ksdk.com/littlewishes. Tonight, Israel is intensifying its fight inside Gaza. This as one hostage taken by Hamas was killed in an alleged rescue attempt. He was 25-year-old Sahar Baruch. The Israeli military blames Hamas for his death. And now Israel is reporting 19 other hostage deaths. Israeli forces are trying to encircle the city of Khan Yunis, which they call a Hamas stronghold, housing the militant group's top leaders. At a forum today in Dubai, several Middle East leaders denounced Israel and called for ceasefire.
We are committed to have all the hostages being released, but also we are committed to stop this war. It always takes two parties to be willing to such an engagement. Unfortunately, we are not seeing the same willingness that we had seen in the weeks before.
Health organization says 17,000 Palestinians have been killed since October, including 7,000 children. 1.9 million people have been displaced, most of Gaza's population. Since October 7th, Israel has arrested more than 3,000 Palestinians in the West Bank, many without a trial. This as Hamas continues to hold more than 100 hostages in Gaza. Here in St. Louis, the Jewish Federation of St. Louis hosted a march demanding the release of those hostages. Hundreds marched down Del Mar Boulevard in University City. They marched past a counter-protest calling for a ceasefire and to free Palestine. For more information about the war and those impacted, just text the word Israel to 314-425-5355. Tonight, the first Black Girls Who Rock Awards were held in St. Charles. The St. Louis Stars and the member of the Five on Your Side team who were honored there. Tonight, St. Louis held its first Black Girls Who Rock Awards. These awards honor nearly 100 women in the St. Louis area who've made significant contributions to the community or careers. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to adopting families in need in the St. Louis area for Christmas. Honorees included actress Jennifer Lewis, Sweetie Pie's owner Robbie Montgomery, and Five on Your Side, Sydney Stallworth was there to accept an award herself. Less than 24 hours from now, Foley, Missouri native Ruby Lee will give another live performance on NBC's The Voice. The 16-year-old contestant, and right now the youngest in the competition, has made it to the semifinals. Each singer will perform a solo suggested by the audience and a song from Taylor Swift's repertoire. Out of the top 9, only 5 will advance to next week's finale, and you can watch tomorrow night at 7 here on 5 on Your Side. After the show, you can vote for her on The Voice's website and app. Thanks so much for joining us for 5 on Your Side at 10. Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis starting at 4 a.m. Now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.